Yo, 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 welcome to the Black Club. I'm your host and founder of the show, B Note. Today we dive into the world of acting. We go behind the scenes and talk about the difference between theater, TV, and film. We talk about the difficulty in balancing your acting career with your everyday life and what it takes to really and truly be an actor. Today, the guest that I got with me, he's a represented actor with over 14 years of experience. He has over 30 credits in TV, film, theater, commercial, and media work. He has been featured in Authority Magazine, Shout Out LA Magazine, Bold Journey Magazine. He's a content creator. He's the host of the podcast, The Prince of Fresh Air. He's the most charismatic man in entertainment. He is Mr. Percy Brown. Yo, check out my new store, the Black Club Store. We've got men's clothes, women's clothes, kids' clothes, even got playing cards for you spades players out there. You can even get a Black Club pet bowl for you pet owners. We love the pets too, and we're still growing, so there'll be more to come. You can go to the Black Club website at theblackclubpodcast.com and click on the Black Club Store. The link is also in the description. So head on over to the Black Club store and get your Black Club gear today. What's your process when you're preparing for a role?
So it's different for
Okay.
commercials, and then TV and film. So I'm gonna just break it down from the film standpoint. And so what would happen is, I will get the script or I get the breakdown. So audition, for instance, they'll send me the audition. The casting director, casting producer send the script. The first thing I do is I read the entire script or whatever they give me, the sides or whatever they give me, so I can
Right.
understand the context up to the scene and after the scene and during the scene as well. So I
Okay.
understand. Usually they'll tell you, all right, this is generic information. The actor, the characters, 25 to 30. He's a hipster, urban type, very cool, confident. And so what I do is I look at the scene. I read the scene a couple times. I usually have a buddy, another actor friend I call. We'll read it through a couple times because it's usually my scene partner when I'm doing a self tape or whatever. And so
Yeah.
after reading it a couple times, I understand the lines, I understand the scene. I break down the character. So when you're in theater, the first things or the first some of the first thing they'll teach you is to break down the who, what, when, where, and why. And so you want to know who's the character, what is the character doing in the scene, why is he, what is his motivation, why is he doing that, where is it taking place, and
Right.
there's multi layers to it. So for me, when I look at a character, first I break down who my character is, and then I look at the relationship between the other roles involved in the scene. And so I just go over it a few times. And one of the things I've learned, from one of my actor teachers, is you want to come with a character but be fluid. So what happens is, okay,
Okay.
so let's say I come up with a scene, right? Me and you, we're doing a scene, and I have the character broke down, and I know how I want to say it, and I know who the character is. But then the director or the producer or whatever comes to say, "Hey, um, okay, I like the choice you made, but what about this? What if you did try doing it this way, or what if you try doing this line a certain way? Try playing around with it." And so for me, my
Okay.
process now, it took many years to understand this. So now what I do is I play with different vocal levels. When I was in theater, in college, I took voice and diction. I worked with other colleges, and I understood. I learned how to play my voice, learned how to play with different mannerisms,
Right.
play with different things. So for me, I play around with it. I try different ways. So if a line says, you know, jump out a window, I wouldn't just learn how to say.
Do you have a brand or a business that you would like to promote? Drop by the club. Let us share your story your way. Go to the Black Club website at theblackclubpodcast.com and click on Be a Guest. The link will also be in the description. Let us see what kind of magic we can create together.
Jump out a window, I'll say, jump out the window, and
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
play with the different levels, pitches, ways
yeah,
how to project. So I wouldn't call it tedious. For me, I enjoy the process because I enjoy what I do, but I really take the time to flush out and learn the character and learn how to be prepared. So even if I have to change the character on the fly or something changes, I'm ready and I'm able to go in that direction when it's needed. So I got my playlist. I got my favorite music I listen to when I'm doing it.
yeah,
And usually, sometimes I go out for a walk. I'll memorize my lines and rehearse in different areas. So I'll probably learn right here where I'm at right now. Then I'll probably go in the bathroom. Then I'll go to the park, and then I'll do it at the gym. And
yeah,
I would just continually work on it, rehearse it. Just because your environment changes, if you're sitting down and you're standing up, if you're sitting in a small space or you're sitting outside, it's a very tedious process, but it's a process I enjoy. And,
yeah.
I always try to make the best of what I can do at all times.
I hear a lot of actors say that it's a difference between the TV and film and like theater. What's the big difference? What's the main difference?
There's a huge difference. And I think a lot of people think this is easy work. Theater is not easy. Film and TV is definitely not easy as well. But with TV and film, you at least get do-overs. You get multiple takes.
Right.
You
Okay.
will deal with constant sometimes, depending on what level you are. But when it comes to like the TV shows you see on TV and the movies that you go to the movie theaters for,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to deal with certain things changing every day. The script might change. The director may not like a certain performance or direction you're taking the character, so they'll have input. You're gonna have a lot of rehearsals, a lot of if you're into if you're doing stunt work for a specific scene, you're gonna have a lot of rehearsals outside of that. It's a lot of preparation with that. Theater, you get a lot more time to rehearse. Meaning, so with TV and film, what will happen is unless you're a Will Smith or one of the main cast members, you'll probably find out sometimes a day before. You might get a week, but generally speaking, you never know how quick that turnaround or how much time you're gonna have to prepare. Whereas theater, you get casted, all right, I'm playing this role, and this is what I'm going to do for the next couple months, couple
Yeah.
weeks, whatever. But generally with theater, you get a lot of more time to flush out your character, work with the other actors, work with the stage hand, the stage manager, the director, all the people involved. Um, and so the biggest thing would be performance. With theater, you get a one shot. You know what I'm saying? Once you hit that stage,
Yeah. Yeah.
do overs. You mess up a line, you trip, you fall, you forget something. You only get that one chance to impress the audience. Whereas, film, and for me, when I look at film, some people say, "Oh wow, how did they get to that point?" And for me, I'm looking, it took multiple takes,
Right.
multiple tries of playing with different ways of doing the scene, and stuff like that. So it's both very hard work, but like I said, with theater, it's a one shot deal. Whatever you give the audience, you give them. There's no do overs, no repeats. No, I slipped up. Let me restart.
Yeah.
TV and film,
It
you get
is what it is.
to. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Any certain roles you like to go for?
Yeah, for me, one of the things I learned when I actually got involved with the actual business of TV and film is you're going to realize that the days of being cast in any role is long gone because now it's professional. So for me, it was something I
Okay.
learned from my first agent, who I'm still with to this day. But I had a meeting with him, and he said, I'm going to send you out for a lot of things, but don't be alarmed if you get called usually for the same type of roles. So for me, I have a certain look. I'm a black man. I'm tall. I have a good build. So I know that I'm going to go out for a lot of and I'm young too. So I would usually go out for like the hipster, the urban types, the creatives,
Yeah.
those type of things where it's a lot of youthfulness to the role.
Right.
But occasionally I will go out for other stuff. Sometimes I might do like a executive for I'll audition for like an executive for Nike or whatever. But generally
Yeah.
speaking, I know the type of roles I'm going to go for, and I just stick to that because at the end of the day, I know who I am as an actor. I'm not going to cry on cue. I can't do that. That's not me. You know, that shit ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very Rico Suave, very personable,
Right.
charismatic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's the stuff I like going for. I like roles that I can have the comedy, have that confidence, and enjoy, still the scene a little bit, make people laugh. Like that. That's the type of stuff I usually go for. And even my manager, we've had this conversation a couple times. I'm all about challenging myself as an actor, but like I said, we got to keep it real. Like for instance, me and you would probably, if I was a casting director, you would probably go out for more of like the I wouldn't say gangster, but more of like the urban, law and order, maybe drug deal or whatever, just because and it is crazy. Like I had to learn that, but they look at you a certain way, and that's just the truth. And until you are able to break that, once you kind of get those reps under you, you're gonna have to deal with that a little bit. So now I'm at the point where I
Yeah.
have a diverse portfolio of work, so I'm able to do that. But I still stick with my lane. Like I said, I'm not a dramatic actor. That's not my lane. I'm more of the
Right.
comedy adventure type, and that's what I'm going for, man. I'm trying to make my stake. I'm going to replace Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I guarantee.
It's gonna happen.
Out with the old and with the new, man. Out with the old, man.
Yeah. So, what's been the most challenging role you played so far?
The most challenging, I never really had a challenging role, but one of the
Oh, you
most,
just you do it like that.
yeah, yeah, I'll say this, Cuban, actually, I wouldn't even use that as a reference. So for me, one of the roles that really it was a lot different. It was a whole different process. A movie I did in 2019 called "Accept the Call," and so it was a
Hmm.
documentary style feature film. And so when I was presented with this opportunity, this film was based off true people, real life people. These aren't
Hmm.
made up in a writing room, and. So the director, me, and the other three members of the cast, because it was based off four black teenagers from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and so the film is about these four kids, four teenagers rather, who got involved with the FBI accused them of terrorism and plotting with certain terrorist groups overseas, and they're in prison. So when we were shooting this project, they were already in prison, and
Okay.
one of the characters, one of the I would call him the main one because the movie's centered around him. His father, his real life father, was involved. So
Okay.
I didn't really meet him until the screening, but he had a lot of input, and they wanted to make sure we got an accurate capture of these characters. So for me, I couldn't come in with the nose ring and the piercings and the hair route.
Right.
I had to really understand that this is not the time and place to be Percy. I'm playing Muhammad Mo Farah. That's the name of the person I was playing.
Right.
And so I had to do the hair back. We worked on developing how the character looks because we wanted a closely accurate portrayal of the characters. So me and the other actors, we got together outside of rehearsals just to build that chemistry. We had to understand the uncomfortability of the topic at hand. So actually, I'll tell you this: one of the scenes we did, we actually had to watch a real life beheading on that was captured,
Yeah.
because the characters were getting involved with stuff like that. So we really had to
Right.
be treat the source material and the characters as these are real people, and we have to make sure that we do justice of portraying them. So it was an awesome process to be in, and it was a challenge in the sense that it was something I never done before, and it was unique,
Yeah.
and I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about acting because now I went from just playing just another character of maybe of a same type to playing something completely different of me. I have no relation
Yeah.
to Muhammad Mo Farah. I don't know him. I'm not like him. So I really had to take it back, rein it in, and really treat the process like a true professional. And I want to give a shout out to my cast members and the director because they really, we all made sure that we gave each other a helping hand, really helped each other throughout this process, and it was such a great,
That's
cool
what's up.
project to be a part of for sure.
That's what's up. Can you share one of your most memorable experiences on set?
Yeah, one of my favorite moments. I got the pleasure of working a lot of cool gigs, but right after I graduated college in 2018, during the summertime, I was doing background acting, just to understand the business, to learn the business. And this was my second gig. It was a recurring background gig for, uh, it wasn't Succession. It was another show. Um, and part of the scene that we were shooting that day, it was an underground fight club scene, and John
Right.
Voight, Angelina Jolie's father, John Voight, longtime veteran in Hollywood. He's part of the scene, and there's a couple other names you might recognize, but he was like the biggest name on set. And so
Okay.
part of the scene, we're all intermingled with him, because he's in the crowd with us, and we're watching the fights happen. And they say cut, we're going to take a little break, and I'm a nobody at this point. I don't really have a lot of credits. I'm not a represented actor. I don't have a lot of big time credits on my resume. So I
Right.
have no skin or no authority to approach him because I'm not even supposed to. That's against the rules. But I took a chance.
Okay.
I was not too far from him. I walked up to him. I said, John Voight, huge fan. Because I watched him the holes, a couple, Anaconda with Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez, and I told him I'm a big fan of his work and I appreciate what he's doing. And he actually responded to me. He chatted me back up and he was like, "Oh, so how long you been acting for? Is this what you want to do?" I told him a little bit about my journey, that I was on set to get experience. And one of the things he said to me right before he went back to his business, he said, "This is how you pay your dues. Pay your dues, work hard, learn the business, study the business, and
Yeah.
continue working hard, and success will come your way." And I remember that because I took a chance to approach someone I had no business approaching, and he actually took the
Right.
time out of his day to address me. I was a nobody, and moments like that stand out to me because it was background. It's not real acting, but
Yeah.
for me to have someone like of his caliber give me the time of day and at least give me some type of words of encouragement was something I took a hold near dear to my heart, and that's why for me, I don't feel like I'm a big shot. I don't treat myself like I'm the next biggest thing walking on planet Earth because I'm just another man, just trying to live his life, and I appreciate John Voight for that because that definitely helped me get through that little slum time in my life for sure.
That's what's up. Um, is it easy to balance like your personal life with the demands of your acting career?
It's easy for me because it's a priority for me to balance acting, and that's a constant. That's actually I met a lot of actors over the years that a lot of them don't fell out of love with it, or maybe they took a backseat to it because it's a very demanding job. It's a very demanding career. Unless you
Yeah.
get lucky, and I'm gonna mention this actor later, and I talked to you off screen, off camera about him. Someone I had the very dear pleasure interviewing, but it's
Yeah. Yeah.
truly uh, industry that's very hard to navigate, and you don't know when that success going to come. You're going to hit a lot of no's before you hear yeses. You're going to get told you're not right for the
Right.
part. You don't look right for the part. You're not what we're looking for. You need to polish up on your skills. You're going to hear that a lot, and it's you never know when the opportunity is going to come. So for me, I knew since I started this is my main thing. I don't want to do anything else. And I'm sure we'll talk about the podcast later, but this is my number one passion. Everything else is just a supplement to this. And so for me,
Yeah.
I made those sacrifices. A lot of people aren't willing to make it, but you know what? I could I go work at a corporate job making six figures? Absolutely. Could I use the
Right.
state of degree to do something, corporate like a 9 to 5 that's more lucrative? Absolutely. But I know what comes with doing that. There's a lot of constraints and time that I'm going to lose pursuing this career. And so for me, I made that conscious effort to putting relationships on pause for many years because I know the type of lifestyle I'm living. A lot of people aren't going to be interested unless they're on the same path. So for me, that was my main focus: eat, sleep, breathe,
Yeah.
acting. So I wasn't going on vacations. I wouldn't take a lot of time off because usually when you have representation, you got to let them know. You got to let these casting apps and websites know I'm not going to be available for this time. And when you're not available for that time, that could be a couple opportunities you might lose. So
Right.
I sacrificed a lot, man. I took a lot of jobs that I really didn't care for, just to pay the bills, but allowed me that freedom to pursue it when I needed to. And I will tell you right now, uh, there's been times where audition came up, and I called out of work sick. I'm on the phone, I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just lying, but you know what? That's what I moved to LA for. That's when I came back to New York. That's what my mission
Yeah.
was. So, it's a sacrifice some people aren't willing to make, but in order to be successful, you got to make the sacrifices.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Since you're an actor, let me get your top 5 movies of all time.
Ooh, that is a good one. Let me tell. Oh man, off the top. All right, you know what? So I'm gonna switch it up a little. I'm gonna switch it up. So I gotta give Blue Streak with Mark Lawrence. I gotta put that on there. Classic,
Okay.
classic.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are Jeepers Creepers 2 classic. I watch that every time I take a flight. I'm watching that bus, whatever.
You
Um,
like that one better than the first one?
honestly, I haven't even watched the first one. I haven't even watched.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
I love Jeepers Creepers 2. I watched the other ones too. They were kind of garbage, but two, it keeps the beginning, the first 10, 15 minutes, a little, I'll skip it, but everything
Mm.
else solid. Uh, I grew up a horror fan, so I gotta throw Friday the 13th. I'm gonna make it a time. I'm cheating here. I'm gonna put Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Jason X. I'm gonna tie them together. I'm gonna tie them together.
Because of New York. All
Yeah,
right.
you know what I'm saying? I'm cheating here, man. It's what I do. I'm an actor. That's how we do it.
Okay.
And you know what? Denzel, my favorite actor. I got to throw Equalizer on there. I'm not gonna
Ah.
put 1, 2, or 3. I'm gonna just put the whole thing right there because it's a
I was
franchise.
just about to say which one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I rank it. I would have to go back and rewatch them again, but I would probably put Equalizer. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm not sure how I order it, but I'm cheating. I'm putting them all in one category. Um, and then another classic I would have to put on Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. You know,
Oh, okay. Okay.
that's a
Okay.
classic. I'm forgetting a lot of other movies that should be on the list, but as of right now, I'm putting those 5 on there. Or
I
10
got
if
you.
you count it right.
So, what advice would you give an aspiring actor trying to break into the industry?
Man, that's a good question. I appreciate you asking that. And I'm a little shameless plug here. I actually did a video and part of the interview series I did with Authority Magazine.
Mhm.
5 things I wish I knew when I first started. So one of the pieces of advice I would give someone who's starting out, the most important thing, everybody's always taking classes about character work, how to audition, techniques, which is fundamental, but really understand business side of the business of the industry, because so many people have been in this
Right.
industry longer than I have, and they don't understand the importance of a casting director, the relationships between a casting director and the producer and the DP. They don't know certain industry terms. They don't know about the SAG union. They don't know about how you get into the union, contracts, how much you get paid, how you get paid, residuals, all that stuff. It's a business, and I think a lot of people forget that even though it's entertainment, it's still a business. So the most important thing would be is treat it as a business and learn the business, and that it's not separate. That's both entwined together. So
Right.
really understand the industry, learn who the casting director is, who the DP is, the director of photography. Learn the importance of especially now with the current climate, things are changing. Learn about self tapes. Learn about the equipment you need. learn what is what is video formats. Learn that stuff because those are the things that's going to help you grow as an actor. I don't care how good of an actor you are. If you don't know how to treat yourself as a business, you're not going to be
Yeah.
seen as a business. So,
Yeah.
learn that, and then eventually everything else will fall into place. You treating yourself like a brand, using social media to market yourself, getting an agent manager. Those will all come. But once you understand the business, everything else will fall into place for sure.
Already. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Um, well, I know your number one actor of all time, which is Denzel. But let me get your other four that might follow after him. Make it your top five actors.
Yeah, if Denzel hear this, which I'm sure he will, because if he don't hear it, I'm gonna equalize him. Now I'm playing. It's gonna be Training Day Part 2 in this joint. Uh, uh, I do want to say real quick. I do want to give Denzel a shout because he's another one. When I was in high school and I got into really actually acting, he was my number one influence, and to this day, I would love to work with him. I would love to meet him. That's one of the very few
That's,
actors I would
that's what's
love to
up.
meet. But anyway, my other four: Will Smith, I got throw him in there. Um,
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan,
Okay.
young,
Okay.
rising. He's
Okay.
going to be in the street for many years, so him, I'll throw him
Okay.
on there. Um, Other actors, I know, I'm gonna forget a couple. I would love to work with. You know what? I'm gonna throw him in here. Tommy Maguire. He's one of my other actor inspirations. I would love to work with him.
Spider-Man.
Spider Man. Spider Man.
Yeah.
I would love to work with him. And another one who don't get a lot of credit but is phenomenal. I'm forgetting it. It's going to come to me. Green Goblin from Spider Man with Tommy Maguire. William Defoe,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
talented actor. I know he's getting up there in age, but he's another talented actor I would love to work with. And
Yeah.
there's so many other people. I would love to work with Samuel Jackson, uh, Morgan Freeman, Chris Hemsworth. There's a couple. Henry Cavill. There's a couple people I want to mention work with, but if I had to choose five, those would be my five.
Okay. Okay. I noticed you mentioned a couple superhero characters.
Uh-huh.
You ever wanted to play a superhero before?
I have. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna set some people here, but I'm a DC fan. I grew up.
Oh,
Yeah, I grew up in the DC.
DC.
Yup, that's right. And
Uh,
don't get me wrong, I had my X Men phase, but I was more of a DC fan. I still wholeheartedly believe Flash is the most powerful DC member. But anyway, uh, Flash, Martian Manhunter, Superman, Batman, that whole lineup. I know almost every unpopular name in DC. I know a ton of them, and it wasn't really until I found my identity that I really start to understand that I wanted to do it because when you look at Marvel, DC, and when they cast certain actors, like Jason Momoa looks like Aquaman. I'm trying to think
yeah,
who looks like Chris Hemsworth looks like Thor.
yeah.
There's certain people who look like they played those characters. So for me, Wesley Snipes. Let me give a shout out to Wesley Snipes. I forget him. He's another one I would love
Right,
to work with.
right.
But for
Yeah.
me, I talked to my manager actually last year during the strike. We was just talking about the direction of my career I wanted to go in and what's best suited for me. And Marvel is definitely superhero genre is definitely what I want to go for, which is why I haven't cut my hair. And I have that, I maintain my look because for me, I know that I have that look that I don't have to be the hero. I could be the villain. I could be the
Okay.
ant. I could be what they call the tweener, which is a hero with villain like so
The
like
anti-hero.
yeah, anti-hero like Black Adam. I would do something like that too.
Yeah.
It's for me. I would just like to play a character like that, not just because of the uniqueness of my look, but I really just want to inspire other people, especially young kids. I want to inspire them and motivate them to pursue their dreams and don't be afraid to be different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming to a theater near you. I don't know who I'm playing yet, but it's probably going to be Marvel. I'm just Marvel, but if DC call, I'm definitely picking up for that too.
Yeah, yeah. Already. The most charismatic man in entertainment. How did you come up with that title?
Yeah, Dwayne Rock Johnson. I know you're gonna hear this, and I'm sorry, man, but you stole my original moniker. Um, we talked about me being foster care, right? And for me, I struggled with my identity for a long time. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my place in the world. I didn't know where I fit in. And over the years, growing up, as a kid into a teenager into adulthood, I really didn't get my confidence until I would say when I was 23, 22, 23. And it was, it took a lot of performing. I found my identity in acting, but outside of acting, I didn't know who I was. I just felt like another just
Okay.
face in the abyss. And I don't get me wrong, I always got the ladies. I never had trouble with that department, but and I've always been out. I've always been, the life of the party, if you will. If I go to a
Okay.
party, I may not talk to every girl there, but I'm gonna be the first dude up on the dance floor dancing with the girls. So for me, it was I had certain traits about me that was extrovert, but I was truly an introvert. I don't know if it was from being a foster care or whatever, but I always enjoyed being at home, staying inside, reading, watching movies, just being alone. And so when I moved to LA, I think I finally broke out of my shell a little bit. And it wasn't until I
Okay.
worked with Jubilee, big YouTube channel, big company out from LA. I did my first video for them, and it was online dating versus traditional dating. And that was the first time I really put my face on something very public. And so
Hmm.
I saw the comments. I saw a lot of people, wishing me success, enjoying the way how I look, commenting amazing, great things about me. And I think that was the first time at that point in my life, I was like, okay, I think I have something here. And I just
Yeah.
wanted to find something different. I wanted to bring a different energy, different flavor to podcasting because my brand for me, I wanted to stick out as much as possible. I wanted to separate myself from everybody else and make my own lane. And so, Dwayne Rock Johnson, this is why I keep bringing him up because, you know, I was supposed to be the most electrifying man, but then he stole my nickname. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, Dwayne. So we're gonna have to talk. But so I feel like the most charismatic man works for me because uh, I'm very personable. I can talk to anybody. I'm very charismatic, of course. I'm making
Yeah.
love to
You
the.
know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? I'm like LL Cool J in this joint. You know what I'm saying? So it was just something that honestly, I was just going for something unique. I was just trying something different, and it's stuck, and people enjoy it, and so it was something that I just did on a whim, and
Yeah.
it's history.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You mentioned your podcast, The Prince of Fresh Air. Let's talk about it. What inspired you to get into podcast?
Um, I just wanted to try something new. During when I moved to LA, it was right before the pandemic, so I was getting out there. And I was getting, I was making my way out there a little bit, funny story. I remember when I first moved out there, I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard, where all the stars walk of fame and all that stuff
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm walking down the street and someone stops me, a whole family. I think they were from Germany, and they was like, "Are you Lil Yachty?" I'm not even joking, bro. I'm not even joking. I have witnesses. I'll call them right now, bro. They asked me for a photograph because they thought I was Lil Yachty, and till this day, I get that all the time.
Ah,
Come on, man. I feel attacked, man. That's racism anyway.
man,
Uh,
hey, look, I didn't even think of it until you said it. Then I looked up and it was like, whoa.
crazy, bro. Man. That's messed up, man. That's not funny. Nah, I'm not tripping about. It. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I was at the gym. My brother took me to Lifetime Fitness, right? It's a pretty, high exclusive gym. So he plays at a basketball tournament. So I go over there. I finish working now. I'm usually the cameraman for getting footage, and I'm just sitting there. People don't know me, so I'm just sitting
Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah.
They see the hand stuff, and I see people looking. I see people like, who's that? And so during halftime, I dab my brother up. I'm sitting there, and some dude like, yo, Lil Yachty, like just across the gym. So I'm like, come on, man, you're playing me. So if you see me, I might pursue another career in celebrity impersonations. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
but anyway, I went on a tangent there. But anyway, so so yeah, so when I moved to LA, I got my agent, and then a pandemic happened, and so I was just sitting at home playing video games. Auditions dried up, for everybody for the most part, and
Right.
I was just doing the same thing. I would work out, I would try to stay in shape, but I was just vaping, playing video games, and that was my day. And I remember, growing up, my mom wanted me to be a lawyer because she knew I loved reading. Public speaking became natural for me at that point. Once you learn how to be on stage and perform, it kind of becomes natural to speak. And so I
Right.
remember people telling me, "Yo, you're very personable." Jubilee. That video came out, right around before the pandemic, and so I had a lot of people say, "Hey, you're very comfortable speaking. You're very natural at it." And so me and my buddy talked about doing a podcast episode just about, I think it was COVID. And it was something I thought about. I was like, what could I do, to create content for myself, because I'm not auditioning and I can't
Right.
just be sitting
Right.
around all day doing nothing. So one Saturday, and I think it was May, one early Saturday morning, I'm in LA at the time. I'm sitting in the house by myself, and I'm like, you know what? I did a little research on podcasts and stuff. Said, you know what? Let me just try it. Let me try it out. So I called up my buddy who was in Long Island at the time, and we just recorded our first episode. It was COVID. We was just talking about COVID, and we also did another episode too. This one I think was a sports related one. I think it was like NHL or something. But it was just
Uh-huh.
2 episodes on my phone. I picked it up. We just recorded on Anchor, and I published it. And I didn't know what to expect, but I wanted to just do something on my own. One of my longtime friends who's been in the industry for a long time, Odysseus, I was talking to him about that because he started doing his own thing too. He was like, "Yo, just create your own content, man. Don't wait for anybody to call you." And
Right.
I started the podcast. It was called Controversial Topics, 2020, and I haven't looked back since. I made some tweaks along the way, but yeah, I just wanted to record something, from my time with Jubilee, talking about those hard topics, and having those
Right. Right.
conversations.
Oh, really? That's what's
Yeah,
up. What message do you want to deliver with your platform?
I after every episode, I always say, so for the most part. Sometimes I forget it, but I always say a helping hand is a better hand. It's on the podcast, about page, all that stuff, IMDb. And the reason why I made that quote is it's not just a quote. It's not just a slogan. It's a way of life. And the reason why I did that is because when I was in college, I worked with my college had a warmer house. It was called the Warm House. It's a soup kitchen for the local
Hmm.
community, and I got to meet a lot of drug addicts, a lot of people who was in prison, people low income on getting state benefits, all that stuff. People
Yeah.
society deemed low, right? And I even had
Right.
military veterans there who was just down on their luck, and they told me a lot about humility in life. And
Right.
I went in there not being open minded. I was open minded, but I was kind of just like, I'm serving them and then I'm going back to campus. But then I really got to meet them and understand their story, and I stopped learning how to judge people. And that's why, for me, I created a helping hand as a better hand, because a lot of people look down on other people when they're struggling. Oh, you don't have a lucrative job or whatever the case may be. And we're always one bad decision. Unless you're Bill Gates or really rich, we're always one bad mistake away from being in a situation where we need help. And
Yeah.
even if you aren't in that situation or you have that mentality, we all need help at some point. I don't care if it's a
Right.
monetary thing, a career move, a personal thing. We all gonna need
Right.
help. And so, I always say to people, you never know we're gonna need help. So a helping hand is a better hand. The more we help each other, the more
That's
this
what's up.
society will be better. And so that's my message is for people. We live in a very selfish and greedy society. It's all about me. But if we helped each other, you know, we would be in a
Mm,
much better place.
that's what's up. I agree. You had named some actors and actresses that you wanted to work with earlier. Any directors?
Mm. Spike Lee. I got to work with him years ago
Oh,
when I was
okay.
doing background. She's got to have it, so it would be cool to. I've been fortunate. Recently I had an audition with Denzel and Spike Lee, part of the movie. So if it doesn't
Oh.
happen, it doesn't happen. But you know what? I'm staking my claim right now. Denzel, Spike Lee, I'm coming. We're gonna work together. No Diddy, actually. Let me say that. Um, Michael Bay is another one. I love his style. I love his
Oh, you want to do a Transformers?
nah not well at the checkers right. You know what I'm saying? Nah,
Yeah. Man.
I would do Transformers, but you know what? One of my favorite movies that he did was Ambulance. It
Oh
came
yeah.
out a couple years
Like
ago.
what? 2021, something like that.
I think it was yeah 2021
22.
22. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah, that
to.
was a good movie.
Oh yeah, it was definitely. I love his style of movies. I love his action sequences. I would love to work with him. Um, Denzel Washington. He may not be a Michael Bay type of director, meaning his primarily career as a director. But
Right.
Denzel's getting in there. I know he worked with Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace to him. I know. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he's working with Michael B. Jordan. And, I would love to work with him on camera and off camera. Um, Sean Cunningham, Wes Craven, two real
Oh
big names
yeah.
in the horror
Yeah.
genre. Like I said, I've been a horror fan since I was like 7 years old. I know every horror movie that ever came out. I'd love to work with them. I know I'm forgetting a couple names. I will probably throw. It's not Kevin Feige because Kevin Feige's a producer. It would be the Russo brothers. I love their style.
Oh
Marvel,
yeah.
people who know
Yeah.
them. I love their style too. And there's a
Yeah.
couple other names I'm forgetting there. Who did Titanic? I'm forgetting the name. Titanic.
James Cameron, wasn't it?
He's another one. Yeah, James Cameron.
Yeah.
He's another one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Avatar.
Avatar too. Yup. Yeah, he's another one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to work with him just to work with him, but in terms
Right,
of
right.
style, it would be Michael Bay, everybody else, Wes Craven, those type of cats, because I love their style and I love those type of genres, and that's the type of roles I'm going for anyway. So it just makes sense. Get me
Right,
on,
right.
call me, man. Don't be afraid.
Right, right.
You
You're
know,
right. You got
now that Jonathan
so
Major's out,
you know what I'm saying? That spot open.
sorry, Jonathan, my fault, man. Bills got to get paid, man. I'm just playing.
I wouldn't mind playing Kang.
Hey man, especially with that bag that's coming, man. Come on, man.
I'm
I'm trying to
telling you.
retire. I'm trying to retire before 40.
So what's something along this journey that you've learned that has stuck with you in your life?
Oh man, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about this business. But I've learned, to be honest with you, um, not everybody's gonna like you, man. It's crazy to
Right,
think.
right.
You know, Look at me. Use me as an example. I'm very personable, very charismatic. I'm very giving. There's people that don't like me. There's people who don't vibe with me. They just for whatever reason don't like me as a person.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's part of the game. And I think
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
you know what? I think a lot of people they don't they don't see careers or have careers in stuff like entertainment, whereas like when you're judged by so many people, right? Most of the people who aren't pursuing a rap or music or entertainment career, they don't have a career where too many people are judging them. It's usually just the
Yeah,
perfect
yeah,
title. So in this industry, you have a lot of people: producers, casting directors, executives, managers, agents. I mean, the list goes on. That are watching you and judging you, and some people just aren't gonna like you. And it took me a long time to really understand that. I always try to be liked. I try to change my mannerisms. I try to switch things up. I try to be a lot more outspoken and be personable because I was trying to make connections with everybody. Not everybody's gonna like you, unfortunately, and that's just
right.
society. You know what I'm saying?
Already. It's the last one, man. I'm gonna let you get on out of here.
Yeah, I know TMZ trying to get me, man. Yeah, out here, man.
uh, so what do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years?
5 years. I'm manifesting it, man. I have every year. I started doing this last year. I have a posted card right above my bed. and it has everything I want to achieve every year. I already
Okay.
achieved three. Well, I got to double check. I think I achieved three. I got to audition for Marvel. I got to, be featured in magazine covers. And, I got to grow the podcast and have guests on that I never really would have thought I would have had on, a couple years
That's
ago.
what's up.
So for me, 5 years from now, I'm going to be a working actor. And when I mean working actor, I think some people don't realize there's going to be times where you're out of work. 95% of actors aren't consistently working. And for me, I've understand that it's part of the business. Unless you're an A-list celebrity where everybody's calling you, you're
Yeah.
gonna, you may not be working all the time. So for me, I'm going to be working acting, meaning my primary source of income is going to be acting. And this podcast is going to grow to the point where I'm going to get any sponsorship that I want. I truly, I'm an optimistic person, and I really am one of those people. You have to manifest what you believe in, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to that in a second. But 5 years from now, I'm going to be living the life that I've been dreaming of since I was 14, and I don't really care if people recognize me or I'm a celebrity. I didn't get into it to do that. I just came into it to make money doing what I enjoy, and I'm going to do that. 5 years
Right.
from now, you might even see me flying in the air, shooting spider webs out of my wrist. You're gonna see me. I'm gonna be a superhero at some point. Yeah, that I'm manifesting that. So podcast is gonna be even more successful than it is now. Acting is gonna be picked. Is gonna be popped off. I'm gonna be living a life I've been visioning since I was a teenager, and I'm just gonna be continuing to use my platform to bring people up, inspire other people, and even give other people a platform. I always maintain to this day, no matter how many famous guests I get on, no matter how many name guests I get on, I'm always going to open up the door for the little man, the little guy, because I've been there and people gave me opportunities and chances that probably didn't deserve or they didn't have to. So no matter how big or successful I get, I'm still going to be Percy. I'm still going to be the little foster kid who was looking for his chance and his way in life. And I'm going to just use my platform as it increases to help other people as well.
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
Anything you got going on that you want to mention or
yeah, most definitely. And I just want to say this real quick before I say that. A lot of people. I'm glad you reached out to me, and a lot of people you know, I've had this conversation with you and a couple of people like, yo, man, you doing your thing, man. Yo, why you give me the time of day? And I think a lot of people judge other people, right? For the longest, everybody thought I was a two job. I was too confident. I'm full of myself. But then I think when people realize that I'm all about giving back to people, I think
yeah.
people stop judging. Now, when I walk down the street with my sunglasses, I'm sure people think I'm a big shot, But it is what it is. But anyway, what I got going on. So I was telling you off camera actually, but I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Depending,
yeah,
yeah, I got to give him a shout out, man, because him and his manager is awesome. So depending when this come out, most likely this
yeah.
episode will be out. But if you watch Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, I got the man known as the iconic Reggie Dennis McDonald. He's going to be on the podcast, and as we're promoting Bad Boys for Ride or Die, amazing guy, amazing actor, and shout out to his manager too for being the utmost professional. We're gonna hopefully continue working together and stuff like that. I got another article with Medium Authority magazine. This one
Okay.
is stars making an impact. How I am as the host of the Prince of Fresh Air making an impact, and that's a really big article for me because I think a lot of people are finally getting to see the other side of me behind the scenes and really
Right.
understanding the purpose of the podcast. I think sometimes getting hooked on with the intro and all that stuff people forget, but I appreciate them for bringing me back on for that. Third week, a film I did in 2022 is actually premiering in the Bronx right now for them. I'm forgetting the name of it. I have it in my email, but it's premiering at a Fordham screening June 28th. I got another one coming up in New York City in August. The film is officially launching as an official screening for a movie theater experience in Spain because it's
Okay.
co-produced in Spain. And
Okay.
then it should be making its way over to the States sometime later half of 2024. I'm working, man. A lot of auditions been happening. So,
That's what's
at
up.
this point, any day now, something's going to happen. Something's going to pop off. So I'm just working behind the scenes. I think the summer is going to be a lot of special magic happening. And yeah, I got a couple other guests coming on. I won't share yet because nothing is finalized. But I think at this point,
Already.
they're coming. So you know what I'm saying. Go check out you know uh the podcast. I got a lot of stuff coming on. Oh, actually, one last thing. It's officially on YouTube. The Prince of Fresh Air podcast is exclusive now, also on YouTube. So as long as if
Okay.
you do like YouTube, I have the video versions, which is on my podcast on my YouTube channel. But if you like using YouTube Music, you can also check out the audio version as well. Every episode of every creator is on there. So go share with your grandmother, your aunt, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, whoever. Share with your friends and yeah, man,
Yeah.
2024. As much as sometimes this industry knocks you down and you feel like you're on the floor, I always find a way to pick myself back up. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson, don't forget, I'm coming for you, man. I'm coming.
So how can we follow you and like contact you?
Yeah. I'm bragging here. I know I said people think I'm a big shot. I'm a big shot myself here a little bit. I work.
Already.
Yeah, I just gotta say, I'm a one. I have my agents and my managers and stuff, but I truly people are surprised. Everything that you see online, I've done myself.
Hmm.
I work hard myself, and so if you Google my name, Percy Brown, actor, you'll find on my Instagram, IMDb, the
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
channel, all the links to the articles I've done, everything involved with that. You could Google the Prince of Fresh Air podcast. You'll find all the links for that. It's courtesy of Spotify. Podcast is Spotify. Is presented by YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, whatever platform you use is on there. But yeah, my Instagram is by far I'm most active on at Mr. No Days Off Percy. I have everything there on my links, on my fitness stuff, wherever. If you want to DM me as well, be a guest, or you know, if you need me to be an actor, if Dwayne The Rock Johnson pulls out, the best thing is coming. But yeah, feel free. I'm always, don't be shy to reach out. I'm not a big timer. I'm just another guy just making his way in the industry, and I'm always willing to connect with people and work with people. And thank you, man, for bringing me on.
Man,
Uh,
I
yeah.
appreciate you being on the show, the time you took, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what it took for us to get this done. It was
Let me tell you,
a
man.
hassle.
Yeah, man. They playing us, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Man,
If you don't
it's
believe me,
TMZ. It's
TMZ, man.
TMZ. They don't even know me yet, so it can't be about me.
They
It's
know
gotta
you
be about
now,
you.
man. You a
No.
social. They're like, oh, he know him. Oh, that's perfect. We get him too. Come on, man. They playing, man. They shutting down my internet. They playing with they playing with the internet, man. They trying to, I was in the park right before we was recording. I went to the park, worked out, with some of the older guys there, and I see someone snapping pictures. Like, come on, man. Like they playing, man. They harassing me. I'm gonna get a restraining order. Get a restraining order.
He behind the bush.
You know what I'm saying? I see you. Yeah, but man,
Man,
yeah,
hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Percy Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
that's right, man. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Good support this brother, man. What he's doing is phenomenal. Not only creating his own space, but interviewing black creators, black people. A lot of platforms, unfortunately, a lot of black people aren't getting the opportunity to speak. So, you might see me as someone who's well traveled, experienced and stuff. But you know what? I'm always grateful to be on another platform like this. Because like I said, we're both here to inspire people. We're all here to
Yeah,
entertain people. And don't
yeah,
forget,
yeah.
the most charismatic man.
There it is.